Yo, 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 welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. And before we get to our guest today, we have a big shout out for Living Sisu. Living Sisu is a platform and app that wants to give you all the tools to have success in your sport. Their main objective is to activate your lifestyle. It's for active people. Enjoy discounts at companies like BioSteel, 30% off, Body Logics, the Goalie Guild, all his books are discounted. Roan, Lululemon for men, 20% off. Online stretching programs with Eccentrics, 1 full month free. They got super silent massage guns, 20% off those. And it's a great quality. It's way less expensive than a Theragun, and it's great quality. So there's so many more discounts that you guys will need to just become a member to see. So they want to provide you with anything you need for success. So come join the community. I'm a part of it. A bunch of other athletes are a part of it. So it's free to join. It takes 20 seconds to get exclusive offers to your sport, and it's definitely worth it. So do us a huge favor and go sign up for Living Sisu's membership. It's free, 20 takes 20 seconds. So go do it, and we'll see you there. Living Sisu is a great company. We know one of the co-founders, Zach Fricali. He's a great guy. He's the co-founder. He does a lot of live streams on Instagram at Living Sisu, with a bunch of elite athletes, and you learn a lot from like the athletes' determination, their resiliency, everything to what made them become successful. So it's been a great experience so far. So go on. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. So go sign up. Yo, welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. I'm Jack, and today I'm joined by former NCAA Division I athlete Pat Shea. Pat most recently played 4 years of NCAA Division I hockey with the University of Maine. Pat was also drafted by the Florida Panthers in the 2017 NHL draft in the 7th round, 192nd overall. And it's good to get him on the show. Welcome to the show, Pat Shea.
Thank you for having me on, brother.
Yeah, no problem. So how have you been? Like, we're in these like very weird times. So like, what's been popping for you?
It's been a nice little downtime. I mean, for the last 20 whatever years, my life has just been nonstop hockey. So it's just been like I'm looking at it in a positive light. Like, here's a nice little like break from life and just like chilling out. And it's an opportunity for me to, focus on some YouTube stuff and doing different styles. Like we were just talking about before we went on air. Like I've been doing some skits and sketches and stuff. Like I didn't really have time to do that, and don't really have time to do that when I'm in a hockey season. So it's cool opportunity to do stuff like that. So I'm just trying to look at positive things out of it rather than getting down about there not being hockey or whatever. So
Yeah, for sure. And especially at the beginning of all this, like people were like complaining, like saying how negative like this is, but like it really is a positive, especially for just focusing on yourself and focusing on like what you need to do better and just taking that time period off to make yourself better.
yeah, absolutely. It was a chance to step back and look at, different things we want to do and, be, like you said, be better. It's true.
Yeah, so let's get right into YouTube. So like what made you like start creating like a YouTube channel and then create videos?
Um, so like making videos has been something that I've done for my whole life. Like I used to make little skits and stuff as a kid, and I would kind of force my siblings to, play a character in them. But which I kind of did recently too with the Life of a Hockey Family. Just kind of, it's not like they're volunteering, but come on, I need you for something. But yeah, that's kind of like how I've always been into that. Then I took a class in high school because of my interest in it, where we made skits for the class. And I mean, I enjoyed the hell out of it, but I also enjoyed the writing process of the skits and editing and stuff. So I went off to prep school and into college, and I was like, I missed doing that, having that creative outlet and doing something creative that I had always done for a while. For a couple of years there, I started making music a little because like, I don't know, I got really into that, but it's just because I have that I always wanted to be doing something creative. It's just in me. So then I kind of saw, obviously vlogging became very popular over these years. And then I saw athletes having success doing it. And I obviously there wasn't very many hockey players, if any at all. There was Trav for Oilers. Shout out to Trav, but he wasn't really like a college hockey blogger. He was doing his on ice vlogs, which has a lot of success. But I hadn't seen college hockey, so yeah, I'll dive into that. I did a little day in the life video. Started slow, and then after a month of it being posted, all of a sudden just like shot up in views. I was like, oh, all right. Like now I actually have some subscribers. So like people are watching. So I kept rolling with it, and I've been growing it over the past 2 years or so. And now you'll see, like we were talking about, like I start making skits and sketches more so, because even though they're not as popular with the subscribers, because, I grew my audience doing vlogs, but there is a group of them that will watch them. And that's kind of where it's really like my real passion is, doing that, like writing that and being creative rather than just like documenting myself. But I mean, I'll gladly do both, if I can. So, but that's why I started and kind of where I'm at right now.
Slow and steady wins the race. That's how it goes.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So you're a creative guy, obviously. It's like, what's like the creative process to like create all these videos, or you just come up with them just on the spot and then just keep going, keep adding stuff into them?
Yeah, I write a lot of ideas down of different things I can put into a video for like entertainment factor, like what the main topic of the video is, whether it's like filling in at a beer league or just a game day or something. And then I fill in the rest. I brainstorm ideas, but a lot of the times, like I'll stress about it. I'm like, okay, what can I put in this? And then I just start kind of talking to the camera, and I'm like, oh, you know what? That'd be a funny idea, and kind of improv a lot of stuff for the vlogs. But yeah, like the vlog is a lot of documenting rather than, creating ideas. So I kind of flow off whatever I say and just kind of let it happen and cut out when I say something dumb. But the skits is a similar process. Like I'm newer to it. Obviously, like I've probably put a total of four or five out on my channel. But that is a fun process for me. Like my buddy there that we do the Hockey Dads one with, we sit there and just we'll improv. Like we have where we want it to start and conclude and what the topic is, and we just roll off each other, and I take what makes sense and what was funny and chop it down into whatever amount of time works. But those ideas come from inspired by like real life social interactions that I have. I think those are fun to make fun of, like real life stuff. Like the press conference one I just did is something that, like a press conference for hockey players is this super serious, like hardcore thing, and it's no one's cracking a smile. And so I figured like it's a funny thing to make fun of. So that's where I get those ideas from.
Yeah, the one you posted yesterday was really good, and like I was telling you earlier, just a lot. It was funny because like it is serious, and like just like that you just did the skit like that and made it funny. It was really well done.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, so I know we talked about this earlier, but how long does it usually take you to like create these videos from like start to finish?
Yeah, it's I think it's longer than kind of people realize that don't make videos themselves or any type. Like you probably do you do video or just the audio?
I do both, yeah.
So you see, like it takes time to clip, even though it
It
may not be
does.
a hard process. It takes time to clip down a podcast. But so for a vlog, I mean, the editing process will take a few hours. If it's a hockey thing, it takes longer because it takes a couple hours for me to watch through the footage and clip what I need, and then I can edit it. Then I can put a song over it. Then I have to find the song that doesn't have copyright, and then I have to clip it so it like changes clips when the bass hits and stuff, so like has to fit there. And then I touch up the whole video, take what I need for the entertainment, like lifestyle stuff beforehand. And then like obviously the filming process will take whatever. I have to dedicate a couple days to film it. And yeah, I mean it definitely takes some hours, but it's, for me, I enjoy doing it, so it's not doesn't feel so much like I'm working, just like it doesn't feel like I'm doing schoolwork. I'm just just having fun, doing my thing. I'm choosing to do it, so it's a little different.
Yeah, exactly. Just having fun with this, so that's all that matters. And if you're enjoying it, then so
Yeah,
be it. If they
it's true.
don't, you're doing it, so it doesn't really
Yeah,
matter.
exactly.
Yeah, so I feel like YouTube got a bad rep, like at like when you like start creating videos, but like once you get further in, like it's like totally normal. So like when you would record like game day videos and all that, would you ever get chirped or like by like opposing teams or anything from it?
I've gotten a couple, but it's never been like a creative chirp or like something that would offend me, right? So it's like a kid come up to me and be like, "Oh, sick vlogs." I'm like, "Are you saying like, are you like, yeah, I understand you're trying to say that in a sarcastic way, but like that doesn't, it's not offending me, man." Like there are a lot of people that do believe they're sick vlogs. So it's like I don't know. It never really like offends me because it's not like they watch them too at the same time if they're
Yeah.
saying sick vlogs. So I don't know. Yeah, but there is some, and it's just important to ignore it. It's not, can't let it phase you.
Yeah, exactly. It's those chirps are funny when they want to be sarcastic, but you're like you're they said it was a sick vlog. Like, thanks. Like,
Thanks for the view.
I'm gonna keep doing it. Exactly.
Yeah.
And for the free money too.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's funny how that works. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. So you also started your own clothing line as well with the YouTube stuff. You created Shea Hydrated. So like,
Hmm.
what made you like create that clothing line?
Yeah, I'm in the beginning stages of that. I wish I could put out like a sweatshirt right now, but I don't know if I can. But that's a different story. But the dude, it just kind of worked, like the slogan. So I don't know. I don't even know why, but like in high school, I want to say like my freshman year, I got obsessed with like feeling hydrated. So it's like I started hydrating and I was like, wow, this feels great. Like I got energy. I'm good. I'm
Water is
focused.
good.
Yeah. I had like the sugarless Powerades and stuff. I was loving it. Then everywhere you would see me, I would have a Powerade and a water in my hand. And then I would have a backpack full of them too. So like I would like in class, I would take them out, thinking I was funny in high school or whatever. And I would put them all on my desk and I'd have like 4 waters and 3 Powerades like on my desk because for throughout the day. So always people would make jokes about me hydrating and carrying a water right through prep school, right through college too. So like when I did the video, I started out like my first one ever. I'm like, rule number 1, you go into class, you always have a water and a Powerade in your hand. You don't want to be caught like dehydrated or some shit that I said. I don't know. Like it's a bad look. It's important. So like it stuck. People like watched that video and were commenting about me saying that. Like they loved it. Like, so I just kept rolling with it because it's very me. Like I don't even have to, like, it's not something I'm trying to force. It's just who I am. Like I'm always staying hydrated and always have water. So I started thinking of ideas for merch and I'm like, Shea hydrated, stay hydrated. It's cheesy, but it works. So I kept saying it in the vlogs and like they would all comment that Shea hydrated, Shea hydrated. So went through with the shirts and water bottles. And I mean, they've done pretty well for, someone obviously that's still in like an early stage of, you know, YouTube and subscriber counts or whatever. I mean, it was solid too. It's exciting to keep going with it.
Yeah, for sure. So how many empty water bottles would you have in your backpack after like especially after skates and all that?
Quite a few. And then I will get shit if I have like a little left at the bottom. People like to point that out, and I'll just like, like I don't want to drink my backwash.
For real, like
You know?
you.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, I have like the same thing, but like in my car, like after skates, I'll have like 2 or 3 water bottles next to me, and then I'll just leave it for like, just you
Yeah.
gotta stay hydrated. Just
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
show that you're
same.
you're staying hydrated and just
Hell yeah,
and
I get
you
too many
gotta
empties in
yeah
the car.
yeah like my whole front passenger side will be filled with just water bottles.
Yeah. So
Uh,
some people might have empty beer cans, but not us. We
exactly, we
we
gotta
have
stay
empty water
hydrated.
bottles. Yeah.
Hydrate with water.
It's a different lifestyle.
It is. So let's go on to hockey a little bit here. So you're from Marshfield, Massachusetts. So like, what's it been like growing up there?
Yeah, it's kind of like a little bubble. You know, it's I mean, I was lucky where I got out and played on a travel hockey team, so I got to see the world a little bit. And I don't know, I knew it, but growing up here, I'm not complaining, but like I it was a good place to grow up. I enjoyed playing hockey with my friends in high school here. It was a lot of fun. Like I've said that in a bunch of my videos. But yeah, it was definitely a very limited lifestyle of very limited amount of people too. It's like, you know, it's like Irish Americans. It's like all it is here. So I went off when I went off to prep school was interesting because like there's tons of different types of people from all over the world in prep school, and I was able to, you know, open my mind and see different things where I didn't really get that in Marshfield. But you know, that's kind of like the one thing, I guess, one flaw about it. But as far as growing up here, was, I mean, it's a good place. It was a good place to grow up.
Yeah, that's awesome. Especially going to like when you went to prep school and like got that opened up feeling. Like that was also that was also good for you. So
Super cool. Yeah.
yeah, you were when you were in Marshfield, you double rostered AAA in high school, right?
Yeah, so the way it works is split seasons. So like the high school season doesn't start until mid-December or whatever. Tryouts are like the Thanksgiving, right after Thanksgiving. So the first few months there's a like AAA team, like you said.
Yeah. So how was like the experience playing AAA hockey and then and then going into high school hockey? And do you think it benefited you for like going like in a prep school and then college?
Yeah, absolutely, because I was playing with the prep school kids in the split season team and stuff, so I was getting a feel for that already and how that was. Um, yeah, for and I think that also helped me too. Like I was ahead of the public school because I was playing at that level already, growing up as well, and then that. So it definitely got me ready to go jump into prep school. Like it wasn't like an unfamiliar level or feeling. For college is different. I think prep school helped a lot more than people give it credit for. A lot of the coaches now they don't view prep school as too high of a level. And I don't know, maybe it's gone downhill. Maybe people are leaving earlier now to go play in USHL. I'm not really sure, but it definitely helped me a lot. Like the jump wasn't too extreme speed wise because it's also I'm 18 at that time. It's a lesser jump physically rather than when you're coming to prep school. It's a different growth stage. So yeah, but it definitely helped me prepare, and going to the development camps helped me prepare for college as well, playing against like men. So
Yeah, so like what was that transition from like high school hockey to AAA? I know you said like going from high school to prep wasn't as bad, but what was that like gap between AAA and high school?
it like obviously when I was going back to play in high school, I was still U16, so it wasn't quite like I was playing a prep school game and then going because prep school is very a lot of 18-year-olds, but it was definitely a different level of hockey where I don't want to sound like a dick here, but like when I would come back and play at like my public high school, if it was slowed down a bit because like these guys weren't playing at that level. And but you know, that's not a knock at high school and these kids. That's just them. You know, they didn't know any differently growing up. That was what they were doing. You know, so but it was definitely helping me become levels ahead each year before I would go play back in high school. And you can see like I elevated my 3 years in public school. So it definitely helped.
Yeah, for sure. And you popped off a lot of points there. I saw that you played 21 games and you put up 55 points. Not a big deal. Just lighting up the league
My
there.
junior year there, yeah.
Yeah. So then the following year after you played in high school in AAA, you attended prep school at
Union.
Union. I don't know why I want to keep saying university. It's Kimball Union
Yeah.
Academy in New Hampshire. So like, what was like the process like this that you decided to go the prep school route after high school?
It's prep school is it's the thing. Like we're guys that I was playing at the level of growing up. Um, it's the goal to get to prep school, and a lot of them went to prep school right for their freshman years. They were already there when we left our youth hockey team. I applied to a few. I didn't get in, and that's, part of, I maybe could have got in if I got better grades in school, but at the same time, it's when a coach wants you, they'll do everything they can to, with admissions to get you into the school, because you offer something, rather not academically, but you
Yeah.
offer something for that school's reputation. And it just didn't work out with a few schools up until even like my freshman sophomore year. I tried to get into a couple, and it just didn't work out. And then I had nothing like even interest going into my junior year, and I was kind of like, wow, I like, obviously I have to get out of here after this year if I want to, go to college or whatever. And it was a fall tournament. Like they came to me, like Tim Whitehead is the coach of Kimball Union, and he saw me and was interested, and kind of same time Maine saw me and was kind of interested, and it just kind of started finally coming into motion there. Like went on the visits and slowly ended up, that was a spot I wanted to go to, and it worked out, and I'm happy that I went there.
Yeah. So for your 2 years there, you improved a ton over your time at Kimball. So what do you think made you so successful there, and just to keep developing on that path to where you are now?
Yeah, I the first year it was definitely like an adjustment. Obviously, like you said, I went from having like 55 points in 21 games to uh I think it was a little over point a game, maybe the first year of prep
Yeah,
school. It was a
it was like
different.
39, I think.
Yeah, so even throughout that year, so like I started and I was like right at a point per game, and then I dropped off and I went below a point per game, and I remember just being pissed about it. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? And so I started really putting in a lot of extra time, stick handling and shooting, picking my spots on the ice, like a lot of time. Um, Not at practice. Like we would have study halls at prep school, not study hall, like I don't know what they call them. There were free periods. So I would just go to the rink in my sweatpants and just shoot for like 2 hours. And my shot became a lot better, and my stick handling became a lot more smooth. So I like even that back half, so like the back quarter of that year, I started scoring a lot more because I was picking the spot. And if people want to know, it's above the pad, below the glove, above the pad, below the blocker. Especially at a prep school goalie, it's like an automatic spot. I'll tell you. But like even at a college and pro level, the reason I started shooting there was because I started watching like NHL goals, how Crosby scores all his goals, and how blah blah blah. And I see Crosby shooting there every time he scores. It's in that spot. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try that out, and started doing it, and it started elevating my game a bit. And I ended up having a successful end of the year there, and then going into senior year, I got drafted that summer, and I went to development camp and started playing against men and playing at that level. And I got a taste, and my confidence just went way up. And that can really go a long way when you're feeling confident. And going into my senior year, I had a good year, and I was confident going into Maine.
Yeah. So like throughout that time, like you said, you were very disappointed in yourself when you weren't producing. So like, what was your mindset, and like how do you like you said, you just went on to practice a lot more, but like what was the mindset like throughout the whole process? Because like obviously it probably didn't like turn out as good as you wanted to right away. It probably took a while, but like what was that like?
Yeah, it took a few took a few weeks, yeah, to really like figure the when I like I said, it was a lot about my scoring touch and my shot there that I was figuring out. But I've always had the mindset like when I'm not, say, like producing, or I'm in a little slump where it's just like, or if not even, you can't, I wouldn't even call that a slump. It was like it just wasn't quite where I needed to be. I needed to get better. So I've always had that mindset of like putting in the extra work and watching how other guys are doing and how I can do this, where I can go. And I've always had that mindset. And especially where at prep school, he was playing me first line power play and stuff. I was getting the minutes. So as long as I was gonna figure it out, I can go apply it right away, because I was still there and getting the minutes, where it's tougher if you're not producing, but you're also not on the power play and third, fourth line, because it becomes a lot harder to score when you're especially if you're not on the power play. So that's a different thing. But in the prep school, it worked out that way, because I was getting the minutes, and I was able to apply what I was learning right away. So it was good.
Yeah, for sure. And talent could only get you so far, so you just gotta do put in the extra work, just not everything at the rink.
Yeah,
Just gotta do the extra stuff, and like
it's very true.
stay after practice, like whatever you can do to improve the skills, and then it will pay off eventually. It might not be right away, like you said, but like it will pay off eventually.
It's true, man. And it's too many people don't understand that, talent only gets you so far. It's kind of a lot. I don't know. That's one of those things too. It's like you can say whatever's physically talented, athletic or whatever, but and there is a to an extent talent, but it's really like if you're not putting in the hours and hours, that these people who just say like, oh, he's talented, they don't see like the work that these guys are putting in behind the scenes that makes them look so talented. So you're right there. I fully agree with that statement.
Yeah, exactly. Just it takes time. You don't just become better just doing one thing like for the amount of time that you have at like practice or a game. You just got the extra stuff is
Yeah.
what makes you get separated from that like
Mm.
that talent to like your hard work that you've been putting in.
Yeah, I always tell kids when they ask me like what they can do to get to the next level, and I always tell them like, well, it's pretty simply, you have to do more than everyone else at your level if you want to get higher to a higher level than them. Do more after, put more hours in, be better than them. Because it's like if you're just doing what everyone else is doing, you're not gonna rise above them. That's the mindset you have to have.
Exactly. Would you say that that's one of the top things that you uh prioritize yourself on?
Yeah, to do more, just do more than other people.
There we
And
go.
sometimes it's not even that. It's like sometimes it's when I say do more, it's like obviously you need rest times and to like reset, but doing more where it's like I said, like I was watching how people were scoring goals and stuff. Like it's also part of smart, like training smart. Like they always say, like don't just train hard, you have to train smart. So it's doing more, and like but that way as well. It could be not
Yeah.
necessarily just doing the same thing every day for fucking 7 hours, but you're just doing the same thing. You're not actually getting yourself better. You have to think about what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure. And just being a student of the game, like that's probably one of the most important parts of the game is just learning. Like even the guys in the NHL right now, learning something new every day and just focusing on like watching video, watching like the other guys, like
Yeah.
just keep improving. Like you can always learn something no matter what time, where, when.
Yeah, it's true. They're very much still students of the game at the NHL, even the highest level. Just always looking for ways that they can get better, even though the growth at that level is not. It's very slight, and it's like the littlest things make the difference at that point. It's still they're trying and trying to always get better and improve.
Yeah, for sure. And it just goes to prove that like you need to do that if you want to get better at the game. And just take your levels to a whole, take your talent to a whole nother level.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So after your time in prep school, you then committed to the University of Maine to play Division I hockey. So like, what was the recruitment process like for you, and what made you choose U-Maine to be your school?
Yeah, so for Maine, it was more of I was showing loyalty to them for believing in me at such a young age where I wasn't playing at high level. Like it was my junior year of Marshfield High. I was in the split season where I was playing AAA, so I was like they saw me at that level, but took me on a recruiting trip there, and that was my first one. It was at the very end of it, so I went like the split season ends at the beginning of November. I went like mid-November, and I I remember like during that split season, I was kind of seeing a lot of other guys get all this college interest on my team, and I was like, damn, like what am I doing differently? So like it was if I had like someone try to help me and reach out to college coaches, like, oh, he's at Marshfield High, like what's he gonna be doing next year? Kind of like put me off because I was still at that low level, which it's fine, you know, it makes sense. I was playing, Marshall, but so they just took me up on a visit. Maine. They didn't really care where I was playing, and they offered me a scholarship. And I thought that was really cool that they showed that much belief in me at that age. And it was mostly Jay Leach. He was the assistant coach. He left after my freshman year, unfortunately, but like he was the guy who saw me and recruited me and really just showed that belief in me. And I mean, when you see someone do that, it's a pretty cool feeling to have someone really like tell you that they believe in you and stuff. So yeah, I was very loyal to him, and that's where I wanted to go. Like, and I knew that right away, and I just committed like a week later, and I didn't give any other school even an interest after that. So it was pretty early. I guess you can look at it as like an early commitment, even though there's guys committing at 12 and 8 and 7 now. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So then going into your freshman year, like what were some of your expectations going in? Like did you exceed those expectations, meet those expectations? Like what happened your freshman year?
My freshman year was a solid year for a standpoint of being, like a freshman. I think I had like 16 points, which and as a freshman is a solid season. Um, Obviously, it's never going to meet your own standards unless you're, lighting it up, getting well over a point per game, but yeah, you're not going to meet like the expectation in your head because that's what I mean, you're setting these goals for yourself and you want to dominate, you want to be the best always. So it's like, I wasn't happy even with that. And, yeah, I can't say that like I met my expectations in college because I mean, I wasn't getting like the big time minutes of like power play, and I wasn't the guy like when I was in prep school, I was the guy on the power play on the half wall. I was doing everything to be in a scoring situation. It gave me the opportunity to run numbers where it wasn't necessarily true. I was playing mostly third line throughout my college career, which and if you're not on the power play, it becomes hard to get those points. So it's like I wasn't ever like happy with the output I was putting or anything like that. So, but like then again, I can't let that get down. Like there's a different journey for everyone, and I'm going into my first year professionally whenever the hockey decides to start back up. But that's everyone's at the same point, right? So it's like if I go in and do really well professionally, I can move up the leagues, and that was meant to be. And if not, it's not. But I can't let the not, getting the minutes that I thought I deserved in college affect my belief in myself. Like I'm going into my first year pro fully believing in myself and gonna see where that goes.
Yeah, you just gotta have belief in yourself. That confidence is huge, especially as a hockey player. Like, you don't have the confidence, you're screwed pretty much. But if you do, like, you would definitely like feel good about yourself and just keep that momentum going and just keep on going up from there and going up the levels, like you said.
Yeah, it's so important. Self belief and confidence. It can take you so far, but obviously it can't come from a false place. Like a true self belief and confidence comes from because you're knowing that you know the work that you put in, and you know the ability that you have because of the work that you're putting in. You can see what you're doing and getting better at and doing every day with people. So it's not a false self-confidence. Like you can't just be cocky and confident for no reason. Like the true like self-belief and self-confidence comes from you putting that work because you can do it. So it's like, but it's so important that you need to believe in yourself before anyone else can, because why would anyone else believe in you if you don't even believe in yourself, right? So
Exactly. Just from like over quarantine, like I got really into like lifting like a lot and like just trusting the process and like I'm starting to reap the benefits now, which is great after like 6 months, but it's a process. So like you just got to keep believing in yourself, like you said, and just like know that like the work you're putting in is going to help you in the end game. So it definitely does put a big boost on there, and that confidence comes with that.
it's also too the process that you said. It is a process, and it's a different length of a process for every different person, right? But that's the workout thing is a cool example of that. It's like you're slowly, like you're not going to see your body change overnight, but month 1 to month 6, as you're seeing your body start to change and your muscles start to grow, you're like, damn, like this is working, so that's a good example. It's just a long process.
It is, and just getting like everyone's story out, and just it's awesome to hear like everything like everyone says, and just like the process that they're in, because like you said, it's different for everyone. So it's definitely it's definitely cool to see, and like you could learn a lot from everyone's process and like how they go with stuff, and then you could implement some stuff here, some stuff there, as along with your own process, and because everyone's process is different. So it's definitely cool to see.
Yeah, it's true, and that's something I kind of forget sometimes because like I said, like I'm super passionate about making like skits and stuff in my, but when I'm taught, I do like a sit down video, I forget how much impact that it can have on a kid in high school that was in the same exact position that I was, because it's like a good way to look at like a brand or like a successful channel or whatever you want to call it. It's like looking at yourself, talk to yourself 5 years ago or whatever age, but that's an example. Talk to yourself 5 years ago, tell them how you got to where you are today. So it's like a good way to look at it, because then that kid 5 years younger than you is gonna be like, okay, like I'm all right. He was in the same position too, and like they stop. Maybe they stop doubting themselves a little bit. So hearing people's different perspectives and how many people are in that same exact spot it's definitely a cool thing.
Yeah, for sure. And also going back to like confidence and like self-talk, like positive self-talk is like huge, because like if you go like negative and like your
Yeah,
your brain keeps saying like, oh shit, like I'm gonna play bad today, like you're
yeah,
probably gonna play bad today. So you just gotta
yeah.
have like that positive like reinforcement that they're gonna play good, and just do anything you can to get the minutes and get people's attention.
Yeah, it's sounds cheesy sometimes when people, when you say like self talk, but
All you're
man,
talking to yourself.
yeah, you need to have a sometimes it's tough to just have the positive thoughts. Sometimes you have to verbalize it. Like as cheesy as it sounds, like, and I've made fun of it too, and like, but it's true. Like you gotta sometimes look at yourself and just be like, I'm a fucking animal. Like, like no one's stopping me today. And it can go a long way, like saying it out loud and like getting in that pumped up feeling, like can really like make a difference going into that day. So
Yeah.
it happens.
Hell yeah, it does. And it's a great feeling when it does, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely is.
Yeah, so going back to U-Maine really quick, like what was it feeling like getting your first college goal? Because I'm sure that was special for you. Besides for probably when you get your first pro goal, that'll be huge. But like, what was your first college goal like?
Yeah. It was a cool feeling, but there's a picture of my celly and it doesn't look like I'm too excited. It was I'm just kind of like, like I was so like timid still. Like I was still kind of coming into to myself, and it kind of showed in the way I was like playing in my celebration there. But it was my first shift, I think, of my first game. I got the puck, someone chipped the puck up, and I came down and pulled the puck in to shoot it, and I whiffed and slid it on the ground and it went 5-hole. And I was like, oh wow,
Wow,
this
went
game's
in.
easy. Yeah, like, oh, college back pocket. This
I'm
is
gonna
an
be
easy
lighting the
league.
league up.
Yeah, dude, I had a hot start to my freshman year. It was funny, but it was a cool feeling, definitely, to come in and score like your first college goal that you kind of dream about your whole life. So it was definitely a good feeling.
Yeah, for sure. So like what was the other like 3 years of college hockey like, and like just seeing like the team get better and better and like come together each year?
Yeah, it's obviously more fun when you guys are playing for something. Like my freshman year was a tough year. We just weren't good, and for whatever reason, I don't know. We just lacked experience, depth. I don't even know what it was, but we just, yeah, struggled. Really, had like 10 wins, I think, and then I don't know. Obviously, Swayman played a big role in turning it around, but he when you're playing for something, is it makes it way more enjoyable, because we're a winning team, really, like especially my senior year, which unfortunately got cut off, but we were a real like Hockey East contender. Like we had swept BC, beat BU, like we were really gonna go for that Hockey East title, and got cut off. But it definitely made the games and season practices more up upbeat, and everyone's having fun rather than like, up, another fucking loss. Everyone moping around the rink like, fuck, damn it, when are we gonna win? So it's definitely, it was cool to have that development over the years.
Yeah, for sure. So how awesome was it playing like for a goaltender like Swayman? Like he was one of the top goaltenders in all of college hockey. It's like it must have been really cool to have him as your backstop and just have you
Oh
guys
yeah.
be winning games all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be pretty hard to argue that this past year he wasn't the top goalie in college hockey. This past year in particular, he took it up at a level, and he had to, because, and I'm not knocking our team, but we had a lot of young freshman D and just an inexperienced decor in general coming in. So, and to their credit, they really came along for the second half and have shown great development. But for them to, they come up in there with their first year playing, it's a adjustment period for them. And Swayman was just lights out back there. I mean, he was probably throughout the end of the year, he was getting like 50 saves a game for us. It was insane. And we have to fully credit him to that, because we're not that same winning team without him having those games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
it almost like you're in the D zone, like we're just like, we're never in a worry, because that he's there. It's like it adds, and whether it's good or bad, he probably is not too happy if we're lackadaisical in the D zone, but it adds that, like, you're never really panicking that it's just gonna, a little flick from the point's gonna go in, if you don't block the shot, that it's gonna, like, you're never not confident with a goalie like that in there. So it's big. Goalies a lot of times is what makes a good team.
Yeah, exactly. And just Just you're padding his stats as well, just letting those like little like floater wristers go through and him making an easy
Yeah,
save.
it's
So just
generous.
pad,
We're being generous.
you're being you're being generous. That's
You want the goalie of the year? Fine, we'll let a few. I'll miss this block shot. We'll let a couple through for you.
just to pad the stats.
Yeah, we'll make you look good.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. So college hockey is known for like fan sections at games, and I know Maine has like one of the craziest fan sections in college hockey. So like, how how cool is it playing with a fan section like that and having them behind your back the entire time?
Yeah, they're the best, man. I mean, I've said this in my videos, and I get shit. They're like, "Oh, you ever been to a North Dakota game?" Like, no, I haven't. But like, sorry, man. Like, but like from what my experience of any rink that I've been to and seen, I've never seen fans like that so passionately. Like the student section's crazy, and it's right the way that it's like right over and the right on the edge of the glass like that, and they can just yell over. It's very cool. Like I watched the game when I think I was injured or something, and I watched for a brief second there, and you can just hear everything, and it's pretty cool. But the passion of like the local people up there is crazy. The season ticket holders, the way that they come because it's their NHL because there's no pro team in Maine. Like where there sometimes there's like a coast team down in Portland, but not there's nothing up there. This is the big thing. So it's pretty cool to have that. And you come to the games and there's people running up with like tattoos of like Maine hockey on their arms and stuff. I feel like you're crazy, but I love it. It's a cool, it's very cool atmosphere that I'll never have again. So I made sure to enjoy every time they're chanting out and when we're doing the starting lineups and they're giving their "Let's go Maine" or "Let's go Black Bears" chants and stuff. It's you gotta take it in because it's a cool feeling.
Yeah, exactly. And the Alphon seems like it was a great place to play, and just from the atmosphere and like the fan section, the fans, obviously, just like everything was going for you guys there.
Yeah, it was a super cool place to play in.
Yeah. So like, what was like some of your favorite memories that you've had at UMaine?
Definitely the rivalry weekends with UNH. Those are just unforgettable. The way the fans showed up for those is crazy. But then also when we went over to Belfast in Ireland, um, that was just really fun time. Cool seeing like we're in a different country overseas with the team playing hockey and going out with the boys in Belfast and stuff. It was just something I'll always remember. It's unforgettable time. So yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah. So what was it like going overseas for those games and just playing in a new country? Because I bet the ice was different as well.
Yeah, well the ice is they're all Olympic size sheets over there. So it's a little cardio. We had to work on our cardio a little bit. But it was just cool seeing the different culture of the way that they went about and how it was similar in some ways and different, but like the way that they went about the rink they worked at, like the way that they set up the games, and then just seeing the different people walking around and the different types of clubs and like bars that we didn't go to. But yeah, it was just cool to see the different culture. Like I hadn't been out of the country besides Canada. Like I had been to Canada, but obviously Canada is super similar to the States. But it's yeah, to go overseas like that and see that is something that I feel like everyone should do at some point, no matter where, regardless of where it is, but something everyone should do.
Yeah, for sure. So like, did you guys play like against other colleges or did you play against some pro teams there?
No, so it's like a friendship four they call it. And it's every year is different four teams, and they take four college teams each year and go over and have like a little 2 game thing. So it's like I want to say it's Friday, Saturday, but you go for the week. So it's like a cool little thing. Like you fly over for the week and you're prepping with the guys and you're seeing it, and then you play one team the first night and a different team the next night. So.
Yeah, that just seems like it was a very cool experience and like it was so much fun for you guys. But like what was like the travel like and like I'm sure there's a ton of jet lag, especially
Mm.
with like the time change. So like how did that affect you guys?
Yeah, the good thing is that all the teams had the jet lag, but it was like a 6 or 7 hour flight overseas, and yeah, that was my first experience with jet lag as well. That was obviously it takes however long, and we didn't have long enough to fully adjust to the time really. So like the first few days there, we're just sleeping. They're like, it's important not to sleep longer than 45 minutes. Like all this, they set all these rules for us, but we just obviously you want to sleep all day because you're used to being sleeping during that time. So yeah, it was definitely an adjustment.
Yeah, but you got like you said, everyone had that, so no one got
Yeah,
an advantage. So that was good. Just
exactly.
just getting like the Z's that you need to recover from that must have been so good.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely.
Yeah, so in 2017, you were drafted by the Florida Panthers in the seventh round at 192nd overall. Can you explain like the feeling of being drafted, like the draft experience and the emotions you went through when your name got called?
It was actually 2015. It was 5 years ago now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I've been to quite a few development camps, but it was yeah, but man, I mean, obviously, especially like as a kid, you're it's something you dream about, and well, I always realized that being drafted doesn't really doesn't mean I don't want to say it doesn't mean anything because it means something, but it doesn't mean you're gonna go make the NHL. And I've always known that it's like being drafted doesn't mean like, oh, I've made it, but it's a cool thing that you can check off your list, and it's a stepping stone, right? And it's like I got drafted by an NHL team, and I'll always have that, and like I'll always have my draft jersey right here, like. And that's something that I always have, regardless of how far I can make it. It's a cool feeling when it happens to just, you know, like part of a dream come true. And then you can go like to development camp, and I got to see the way I like in an NHL rink, and I got to see the way that they lived every day, how they practice, how they have their meals for them and stuff, is how they work out in the gym how professional, and I got to live like a professional player for those weeks that I would go there. And it's something like I will never forget. Obviously, it's super cool experience.
Yeah, for sure. So 2015. I
Yeah.
don't know where I got 2017, but that's my bad. Like
You're good.
elite
It's
prospects
no
didn't give
big
me
deal.
elite prospects didn't give me the right date or the right year. So, but
That's no big deal. But yeah, I'm just older than you thought I was.
nah. So like you said, you attended some development camps. Like, what's like the biggest learning curve, learning process, whatever you want to call it, that you've learned from these development camps, especially since you're playing against men during this camps compared to like college.
Yeah, well, it's cool for me, what it did was put it made things a reality. It's like you realize that it's such a fine line of making it when you get to that certain age. It's not like they're superhuman. It's not like an NHL player is superior of a human to you. They're not. Like you go there and I'm like, okay, like I'm faster than these guys who are playing in the AHL and the NHL. Like, okay, so they're human. These guys are, so it kind of puts it in a perspective. Like it's not an unattainable thing that if you put the right amount of work in and figure out that you can do it, but that's the thing, is that you have to figure out the little things of getting there, and that's what makes it hard, but it also makes it so hard because it's such a fine line of how you make it and who makes it and who doesn't. And sometimes it's just opportunity, like you get a call up or something and it works out. But yeah, for me, it was a lot of seeing that like these guys are just humans like us, and like it has that belief there. And then also the learning experience from the weeks where really cool. We would do video and they would explain how the coaches would show video of their players and explain their styles and what they're teaching. And they would teach us better, like offensive uh, skills to have and like entries to the ozone and different plays that they want to set up. And so I definitely would learn a ton each week that I would go there, more each time I went. So it was very, very good that in that sense.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like the experience you got, the learning things that you learned from the coaches and the players. Did you ever have like that starstruck when you first got there? Or were you just like, nah, it's like I gotta put in the work now and I'm just playing hockey?
I mean, a little like I was my first year there. I was like timid, not of the people, but like because it was new and I was young and like I guess socially, like I just kind of kept to myself and like you could kind of see it on the ice even if you showed like a difference of year 1 and 2 or 3 because it's like oh like I don't want to say I was nervous because like I don't think that I was, but it was more of like stiffness a little like okay, I'm like on an NHL development camp, like there's coaches were like this is different, like this is crazy. And like so I had that first year I definitely had a lot of that like holy shit, like I'm at an NHL camp here and I'm doing these drills and like it was there's definitely that feeling when you're getting there, especially the first time.
Yeah, for sure. Would you like talk to the guys when you'd get there and be like just especially like or on the ice, just talk to the guys, like learn what they do and like try to like learn from them, especially if they're the older guys.
Yeah, you definitely try to, and it's cool. It's very cool when the older guys will socialize with the new guys, and especially if they're like a AHL guy or someone that's been down the been up the ranks a little. Like it's cool if they come up to you and like they just socialize and treat you like one of them. That's a very cool thing, and I think everyone should do that. But sometimes it's not the case, you know. Sometimes, but it's not a knock at them. Sometimes it's just like a social thing. They don't know you and they don't know what to say to you, kind of thing. But
Yeah.
when you catch a social person and they'll they come up to you and tell you what they're doing, what you know, it's you can definitely learn from them in a lot of ways.
Yeah, for sure. So this year you've been working on your journey to professional hockey. So like how's that going? Like do you have a team like picked out that you can say? Like you don't have to say, but how's that going? Like the process of trying to become pro?
That's interesting. It's tough because COVID is putting a nice damper and delay on it. But the problem, so like I've said, like I was hoping for an AHL deal, but it doesn't look like that's going to work out. And it's obviously, like I said in college, I didn't get the minutes that I felt I deserved. Where if I didn't put up big numbers, then I know I would have had a contract regardless of, you know, but so there's a process there that you go through. And then at this point, because of COVID, there's a lot of guys dropping down from the A to the coast and guys dropping from NHL to AHL deals. And so there's a lot of that going on. But I do have an idea of where I'm going to be, but it's not finalized and I haven't signed anything. So I'm not going to say where, but it likely will be in the East Coast in the northern part of the league. I can give that much of a hint. But yeah, that's likely where I'll be. I can't say which team I think it's going to be yet though. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And that's awesome. You have somewhat of an idea,
Yeah.
but can't wait to see that contract that you signed and see what team you're playing for. So that'll be awesome when that comes out. So But I have one more question for you before we end this. So like, what's your favorite food? Like, not hockey related or anything, but what's your favorite food?
Yeah, I go through phases of favorite food, but the past couple years, I want to just say pizza. Like whenever I get the
Classic
chance,
pizza.
yeah, but I'll go barbecue chicken pizza, but not like the grilled barbecue chicken. I like the fried shit. Like you gotta toss the breaded. Like if I'm eating unhealthy, it's gotta be fucking unhealthy. Don't mix it half and half here. So like yeah, that's the for the last few years, whenever I get the chance to I'm feeling like a cheat meal, it's most of the time it's like I'm gonna order some pizza. So I that's been my big it's been my big one for the last few years.
Yeah, for sure. I second that. Pizzas probably would be my pick, and
It's glorious.
it is. I got into chicken pizza as well, so
Yeah.
it just chicken pizza just hits different.
Dude, it does. It adds that little extra something that it's missing, It's nice.
It does for sure. So, Pat, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate your time and want to wish you nothing but the best of luck on in your first pro season, wherever you decide to sign. And can't wait to see what you're going to do.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you having me on. It's fun doing these podcasts.
Oh yeah, for sure.